Now, PRI, you want to do so PRI, which is owned by SEMA, is that right?
I think that they're like, they're partnering with them. I think that basically SEMA and PRI are partnered together. PRI, just to give you a little history on it for those of you who may not know, it's the Performance Racing Industry Show. They used to travel around. In fact, Nashville hosted a PRI, I think, many years ago. But then they stabilized and they had it every year in Indianapolis, and then they moved it down to Orlando, and it was not the biggest of hits for the industry. They started losing attendees, and then SEMA
cut
steps
out early
in
and go see the mouse, right?
Yeah. Exactly. And then SEMA steps in and says, "Hey, let's take this thing over. We're going to help you guys bring this thing back." And actually, when it went back to Indianapolis, I felt like it was better than it was previous to moving from Indianapolis. SEMA's done a bang-up job with PRI in getting this done. So PRI, Performance Racing Industry Show, is really, if you're a machinist, if you're that shop guy, this is the show for you, man. You can definitely come in and kick the tires here. So it includes people like NASCAR, NHRA, National Hot Rod Association, Streetcar Takeover, NMCA, NMRA, and SCCA. Those are all organizations that contribute to PRI. So Absolutely.
It's a big racing show, and it's now home in Indianapolis, like you said, every year. So
it's an equipment show, man.
I've got the PRI president, Jamie Meyer. I've got his letter statement up. Do you want me to dig into that a little bit?
Yeah, dig into it, man. Yeah.
So they're going forward with this. It's going to happen in early December. I think, what is it? December, let's see here.
It'll be December 10 and 12.
There you go. 10 through the 12th. Currently, the city of Indianapolis is at a stage 4.5 out of 5 through August 27th. Now, he's talking about their level of COVID response. Is 5 the most relaxed?
5 is the most relaxed, and I say that you can only get into 5 if you have basically you're like well below the infections, if not completely gone the other way, which is great. If that's I'm happy for Indianapolis if that is truly the case, but we'll see.
So at a 4.5, they're not able to hold an event with more than 250 people without the approval of the Marion County Public Health Department. Mm-hmm. Fortunately, the Visit Indy team has already had great success gaining approval for events that are being held at the Indiana Convention Center right now. This includes several weekend high school basketball tournaments with over 7,000 people in attendance. Mm-hmm. These events have been held with sensible safety measures in place and with no outbreaks of COVID-19 reported. In addition, the entire city of Indianapolis, which includes hotels, restaurants, transportation companies, looking forward to and preparing for the PRI trade show. Well, it's just like the thing in Vegas. I mean, these are huge revenue generators for the city.
Oh, big time. Big time. Because you have restaurants and hotels and they want this to happen.
So it is hinging on the approval of that safety plan from the Marion County Public Health Department. That's where we stand right now, according to him in his letter.
Now, do you want my opinion on what's going to happen?
Yeah, let's hear it.
It ain't happening.
Okay. Do you want to elaborate on that?
You can't do it. You're just not going to be able to. There's no way that 1 month is going to make a difference. If you're not doing SEMA and Apex, there's no way 1 month is going to make a difference. It's just not going to happen.
Well, let me play the other side of this coin. Let me present the argument to that. This is a smaller show than SEMA and Apex.
It's pretty darn huge, man. It is a smaller show, but it's pretty huge. It takes up the entire convention center, as well as Lucas Oil Stadium. That's a huge convention center. You've got hotels to deal with. They will pack those hotels. You will have packed restaurants. You have to feed these people. I personally think that it would be a tall order to pull off, in my opinion.
And
safely.
Again, let's factor this in, okay? Because Dr. Meyer talked about high school basketball tournaments and some various sporting events that they've had in these at these venues.
Yeah,
PRI's bringing in international guests, right, and exhibitors.
Absolutely. They do.
So see, you're not probably traveling from China and Taiwan to come visit a high school basketball game at the Indiana.
That's what I'm saying. It's a
Coliseum,
different. This
right?
is a different animal, man. You can't compare. It's not apples and oranges, man. I mean, it's just. Sorry.
So you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Jay says it's not going to happen.
Happening.
You're going to have to stay tuned to find out.
Let's see what I want to see. Just performance racing industry show attendance.
You're looking at. I gotcha. Yeah, it'd be good to know.
All righty, so here you go. The Performance Racing Industry Show is attended by more than 1,100 leading companies, showcasing a wide range.
Companies, got it?
Yeah, companies. Showcasing a wide range of efficient and high-quality alternators, air filters, balancing equipment, batteries, fuel injection, all that sort of good stuff. I want to see what the attendance was, though, for last year. It's got to be over 100,000 people, man. Well over 100,000. I'm pretty certain of that.
Yeah, it's just not going to happen, man.
You can't. You're not going to be able to do it. I know it. It doesn't make good sense to me.
I've got two headlines here that talk about historical data.
Okay.
One is from looks like the Indiana Business Journal.
Okay, there you go. That'll work.
Local economic impact in 2014 was $57 million.
Yeah. If that's any indication,
more
and that was
than
6 years ago.
3,000 people from outside the United States.
Mm-hmm.
They're not giving a specific number. That might be on. Oh, here we go. Attendance now. This was 5 years ago, 2015. Okay. 55,632, up from 49,000 a year ago. Now that's 2015, 5 years back.
And it grows every year. They get more and more every year. So they're probably, I would bet you that last year they probably had anywhere between 70 and 80,000 attendees. I talked to some people specifically about the attendance because I've missed the last couple of years. The last one I attended was in 2017.
Okay.
Yeah. 2017 was the last show I attended. And since then, I've been kind of keeping up with some of my colleagues in the industry, how the show's been for them, and they said that it's been record attendance every year. So I know that it's growing every year. So it's got to be in the 70,000 to 80,000 range.
So they're saying over 30 countries participate. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
Travel is banned. I mean, you can't.
Yeah,
you can't travel abroad. So I don't see how it's going to happen. Now it may go virtual.
Let's do a third of that. Let's say that they only have, because of restrictions and people wanting to just not risk it, that attendance drops to a third of. You're still talking. Okay, we had an example of 7,000 people at a basketball game. You're still talking 2 to 3 times that. You're talking 25,000 people.
Right.
I mean, it's
a lot of folks, man. I mean, I thought about that too. How could you pull it off? You could say, limited number of people in the building.
Well, then who gets to decide that, though? And then it's
exactly. You have to buy a ticket, and you're the only one getting in. But I can tell you that it's not going to work, man. Also, I'll say this: I know people again that exhibit at those shows, and they pulled out already. They're not going. They don't want to go. They don't want to put themselves at risk. They don't want to put their employees at risk. I think that at some point, some reasonable minds have to step up to the plate, just like SEMA has done and Apex has done, and said, okay, we need to look at this in a different way. If we want to pull from our industry and have a show, we can do it virtually. Let's get on it now. Let's don't waste our time and building hopes up for people, because let's face it, last minute changes, man, suck. I mean, people have to fly in, they have to drive in, you have to make arrangements to rent cars in some cases, you have to rent hotel rooms, you've got multiple employees in a lot of cases in these booths. I just don't see it happening, guys. I'm sorry. I hope it does, but at the same time, I'm pretty reasonable about these things. I say let it go until next year and let's see what happens, and don't try to postpone it and say, well, we'll have it in the spring because we didn't have it in. Come on, let it go, guys. It'll be there next year. The same dates will be there next year. It's just inconvenient for in my opinion, a lot of business owners and a lot of consumers.
You've got an opportunity to innovate here, and you sort of have to play the hand you're dealt. And if we have restrictions in place and we keep trying to basically figure out ways to do in-person trade shows, I would think, to your point, somebody's time would be better spent finding ways to get customers' attention now. And see, this is where this whole virtual show, like, if you're able to leverage that and you're able to draw people into whatever it is that you have to say, it could not only win you business in this weird climate that we're in right now,
that's right,
but it could change the show model forever. Like, I hearken back to when Jobs was still running Apple. And they made a decision that, we're just not going to do Macworld anymore. We're not going to do this big trade expo show that we used to do. We don't need to do it. We've got we'll give a press release when we feel like it's time to give a press release.
Nice little PowerPoint that they go through.
They do their keynotes. They've got their own theater on campus that they can use to do that, or you can rent one out if you don't have one. And they just said, basically, we'll do it when we feel like it, and we might do it 6 times a year. We might do it once a year. We might do it 12 times a year.
Right.
But we're just not. We're just not doing this trade show stuff. And see, I see that potentially happening here, and that's why I'm saying the companies that can figure out ways to leverage customers' interest. If I'm out there searching for ways to stabilize the ride on my 40-foot Class A motorhome, and I want to talk to somebody that sells like suspension upgrades, what is your company doing to match up with the searches people like that are putting in, right? Because that's where the magic is. If I'm trying to find ways to get more horsepower out of a small block General Motors V8, what is your company doing to match up to those searches? And then you have your conversation, you have your virtual trade show, if you please to call it that way, right? That's where I think we are at a tipping point in our lifetime to where that's got to change. Stop expecting people to just come through the door where you can tell a captive audience what they need to know.
Right, and this old, and I know people are getting tired of hearing this, the new normal versus the old normal. Folks, I'm sorry. This is where we're at now, and it's the things as we knew it. They're not going to be the same, even coming out on the other side of this thing where we have a vaccine. I still think that you're going to have a lot of things that will stay in place to be better prepared for stuff like this again, because we were completely caught off guard with this thing. Nobody saw it coming. If they did, they certainly didn't tell anybody. And we'll leave that there. But we are in a new time, new era in our lives, in our lifestyles, and how we conduct business is different. And the ones who are able to innovate and diversify a little bit and are willing to take some chances in new ways to conduct business that are open to that, you're going to succeed.
Yep.
You will be successful. Trust me when I say that.
It's always been that way, though. This is not a COVID thing. It has always been that way. When there's a shortage of something or there's a change in the world, it's the ones that can adapt that's right. Are the most nimble. Yeah.
Oh, you mean like me? Like I've been able to adapt. How about that? Wow. Doggone it.
Yeah.
I like me.
I just remember 20 years ago listening to people go, well, I'm not very computer literate. Remember that one?
I do.
And in my head, I would go,
that.
So you're basically saying like what? Like you just give up and you need to...
I'm not going to do it. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's going to go well for you in the long game here, right? I'm not very computer literate.
Right.
Why don't you just say I don't want to learn? Like that would be
exactly.
I hate learning.
My dad amazes me, man. He really does. This guy can pick up any device and he'll tell you how it works. And give him about a week, and he'll tell you how it works, man.
You know what?
You know what he told me the other day? He says, I think I want to learn how to read code, son. I'm like, what? Dad, you're like, shouldn't you like be retired for like the last 15 years? Nah, I get on the phone with some of these guys sometimes, and they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And I figured out most of the time myself. So I figured, if I'm going to fix stuff, I might as well learn how to read code.
So I'm not sure why your dad's initiative there made me think of this, but I've got our next great product.
Okay. Awesome.
So the Universal Translator on Star Trek where, they've always explained it like when they travel to other planets, all we hear is English.
Yeah.
And it's because they've got a built-in translator that speaks like, Klingon or whatever, so that it's all just,
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what we should come up with is our own PCG translator where it's like, when people say things like, well, I'm not very computer literate, the thing just plays, I hate learning.
Yeah. Let's do that. Let's do that. You heard it here first, guys.
You pull up to the drive-thru and you go, can I help you? And it says like, what time's my shift over? Or just, like just what they're right. Actually, the meaning behind it, right?
Yeah, what the meaning behind it actually is. Yeah, there always is that. There always is that.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A, it would be, thank you, my pleasure. God, if I have to say this one more time today.
Right. Yeah, so yeah, there you go, man. I mean, COVID is certainly
coming soon on partscounterguru.com.
Yeah.
We got to come up with a clever name for it, though.
The Crampsolator. All
right, so
the clapper.
Speaking of our website, I think that's a work in progress, as they say.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of that website.
Yeah.
So, are you talking about how people can maybe check into our stuff?
That's what I actually meant.
Is that what you meant to say? Yeah, gotcha. So, hey guys, if you've enjoyed this today, we're sure you did. And you're listening if you are listening to me. So the bottom line is if you want to find us, you can find us over on the web at www.partscounterguru.com. And on that website, man, you can go there and you can find these podcast links. You can also find a YouTube link to our YouTube channel. You can shop Amazon. Anything that we mention on our podcast is there as well, and you can purchase those through Amazon. We have a link there. If you purchase stuff through our website on Amazon, Keith, does anybody know who you are when you buy that stuff?
It is 100% anonymous. Now, let me translate that for you. It is 100% anonymous.
It's awesome. Yeah. Thanks for the clarification on that.
Yep.
So there you go. You can buy anything. Like if you're going to be buying like tons of like MREs, you want to buy pants, you might need lipstick. I don't know, whatever you might need today, but you can even buy food through Amazon. It's crazy, man. You can buy anything through Amazon. I think you can even buy cooked ribs on Amazon if you want. So if you get a hankering for some ribs and you want to buy some through Amazon, you can go to our website and click through on the Amazon icon up top and shop away. It helps us out, guys. It really does. Also, video portions of our podcast are over on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/partscountergurus. We have some how-to videos. We have some funny videos. No matter what you see there, what video you're watching, always give us a thumbs up. Ring the bell. That helps us out. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel because those subscriptions mean a lot to us. They are free to you, but priceless to us. And with every subscription, it gets us closer and closer to a goal that helps us continue to do what we're doing. We're over on social media.
Hold on. Let me translate that last part for you.
Okay. Go ahead.
Please subscribe or we'll burn your freaking house down.
Is that what it really means?
No, I'm just playing.
He's playing. No, we wouldn't do that, but we do want you to really subscribe, man. That'd be great. Social media, check us out on Facebook.com/PartsCounterGurus. You can check us out over on Instagram. We're at Instagram.com, the Parts Counter Gurus. Check us out on Twitter. Twitter.com, we are at The Counter Show, which is what you are listening to right now. The Counter Show for Parts Counter Gurus. So there you have it, guys. Thank you. Please subscribe. Please like. Please tell a friend. Do all that stuff. We need you. We need your support. Thank you.
Well, Jay, this is one of the... I'm looking for the word here. It's one of the more unusual podcasts that I can recall in recent...
Yeah. In a way.
Just in the
content
kind of Twilight Zone,
Yeah.
I think part of it is I got all worked up at GM, and it was just a little animated, a little bizarre.
Well, we got to keep it real,
a little
man,
unusual, not so unusual that I wouldn't do it again, but just a little.
I kind of it's our job to be informative, and that's what we're trying to do. This is the unpleasantries that we deal with.
We're kind of living in strange and unusual times. I mean, it only fits that we have a little bit of a strange and unusual podcast, I guess, right?
Right. And what we'd like to do before we go and hang this up for the day, anybody out there that has any information that would be useful to us to relay to our audience and back to you, if you're going to listen and subscribe, leave us a comment on our website about the show. If you plan on attending, let us know. The virtual show, would you attend a virtual show? Let us know. Get your thoughts on it.
We'll be involved if it goes virtual.
If it goes virtual, we will definitely be involved for sure, somehow, way or another.
So, I've been reading a lot of Mark Twain lately, and I can't say this enough. Like, the more I feel like, the world has gone to hell in a handbasket lately, the more I read some of the things that he wrote and think, yeah, it's not the first time. It just really isn't. We tend to think that this is a unique, this pandemic is unique, but in terms of crisis and global issues and catastrophes, it's not. We've had lots of other troubling times. And so he had a way of always very pointedly getting things out there, and, they're often cleverly worded, usually some comedy involved. And I just thought, in the spirit of keeping with the bizarre, Mark Twain said, "Clothes make the man. Naked people have little or no influence on society." So,
wow.
So that's it.
All
right, everybody.
Okay.
Thank you so much for watching and subscribing. Until next time, that's Jay over there. I'm Keith. And
Keith's right there.
We'll see you as soon as my blood pressure gets back down to normal levels.
Take care, everybody.
Take care.